good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hope it didn't keep you waiting too long.
Nah, you're good.
Coach Furlow didn't make it, huh?
No, she didn't.
Man, we were kind of hoping to get Coach Furlow. We were going to ask her. I was going to try to get her to change her daughter's name from, or kind of rearrange a little bit. Sammy Furlow. I thought we'd make it like Sammy Joe Furlow. Got to get something catchy going like that, or JoJo Furlow. Kind of get that little quick guard action going. Talk about what your team has done. I think you guys, what, 18 wins right now?
Yes, we are. At first, at the beginning of the season, I didn't think we were going to be that.
I didn't either.
Because we had a lot of young players.
Yeah, you got a lot of young players, and it seems like every year Northern graduates. Like the one year you guys graduated Samantha Kofer, then you graduate Amanda Kofer, but then you just keep playing and keep. I mean, you're right at 20 wins again this year. You're right at that number again. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. We really worked hard and improved from the beginning of the year, and it really has shown. We kind of had a couple slip-ups towards the end with the last 2 games that we played, but...
You had a couple close calls too, right?
Yeah, so we're just focusing on getting back to where we used to be.
You know what? I feel like a couple years ago it was it was Samantha's team a couple years ago. Last year, maybe Amanda's team. This year, this is your team. You're the team leader this year.
Yes, I am.
Talk about being that team leader, what you have to do to kind of lead these young ladies.
Just giving them some knowledge of what I've done in the past years and the people that leaded me. So I just took what they gave to me and helped them out this year.
What I like most about your game, aggressive nature, very aggressive, and get some rebounds. Rebound is the dirty work, but you get a lot of key boards.
Yeah, I like getting rebounds.
How many do you average a game? I mean, I'm always asking about numbers. I'm a numbers freak, just like anybody else. You got to be up about 12 to 15 a game, I would think.
I think I'm up right there, probably like 10.
At least 10 a game.
Yeah.
How's the scoring average going? It doesn't have to be a lot because you guys battle, but how about your scoring average?
I think it's like 15.
Yeah, 15 a game.
Yeah.
Very consistent 15.
Yeah.
And here's the knock on Northern sometimes. You and I can talk, since Coach Furlow didn't make it, you and I can talk about some of the inside things maybe she and I wouldn't talk about. Here's the big question. It seems like sometimes people look at Northern. Northern's like a 3-girl or 3-woman team. They don't have a lot out there as far as total numbers go. People say, well, 3 girls split the numbers. You got Aliyah Grinage, then you got Sydney Wilson, you got Casey Johnson. Sometimes people give you that team that knock that you don't have a lot of other contributors, but really you do.
Yeah.
People just don't notice the other players as much.
Yeah. At the beginning of the season, it was me and Sammy. Sammy was the leading scorer.
Sammy was the outside shooter too, right? Yeah.
She's still helping out a lot. We finally got Sydney and Casey to prove what they can do to other teams. They can easily score a good 20 a game if they just keep their head in the game and focus and realize their matchup. So.
You know, the crazy thing is, if I'm looking at the situation, I take a look at it. If I'm Sydney Wilson, sometimes I'm thinking I'm a point guard, right?
Yeah.
My job is just dribble the ball and distribute the ball. I don't have to worry about scoring anyway, but the point guards have got to score too.
Yeah, it's very important because she's a captain too, so she got to help lead the team, and she's also been there for 3 years, so she's seen the leadership.
So it would be Aliyah, it would be Sydney, are the 2 captains? Is there a 3rd captain?
No, it's just me and Sydney.
You're the co-captains, and this is your senior year.
Yes, sir.
Here's a big question. I could have came in tonight and just asked you one question. I could have packed my bags up and went home. My question for Aliyah Grinage always was, are you any relation to BJ Grinage? You ever get that question?
Yes, that is
I guarantee you do, yeah.
That's my cousin.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I used to ask that question. Nobody would give me a straight answer. No, I knew you had to be BJ Grinage's blood.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
The first time I saw you play, I think, or saw your name, might have been in a game against Eastern Guilford. You might have been a sophomore then. I saw the name Grinage. Man, there are not that many people used to call you guys Grinage.
Yeah.
You heard that a bunch. But BJ Grinage played for Greensboro years ago. He also wore glasses.
Yeah.
I remember that guy like it was yesterday. I knew you had to be related.
Yeah.
Good blood in that family. Good basketball blood.
Yeah.
What does he do these days?
I know he's married. I mean, I haven't seen him in a while, but he's doing really good.
He's kind of an older cousin. He's probably 10 years or 15 years older than you, I would think.
Probably like 20 maybe.
Even more, yeah. But hey, he still lives in Greensboro? Somewhere near?
I don't think he does.
But that's the blood. They got the Grinage blood, and it's good rebounding blood, too.
Yeah.
Very good rebounding blood.
Yeah,
Well, you talk about it. I mean, Northern Guilford girls, 18 wins. Here's a team. We could also probably ask this question and probably pack up and go home. Chapel Hill. That's the team that still sticks out in your mind, right?
Yes, it does. Yes. It was kind of that game in the, I think it was 4th round. It was really intense. weeks, I was having some difficulty breathing, but I still try to fight through. Gabby Boyd,
I remember
last
Gabby,
year,
yeah.
she really helped us out and did her thing. She kind of kept us in the game, and Sid had a great game too. So.
And that game, if I'm not mistaken, that game was as deep as Fayetteville, right? That was a regional game, big time regional game.
Yeah, we lost in overtime.
Wow, so that was an overtime game. Wow, against Chapel Hill.
I think it was double overtime.
Against Chapel Hill, and they went on to play for the state championship game because that was the regional final, right?
Yes.
That was the regional. So you guys were actually last year one game away from the state championship game.
Yeah, we were.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yes.
Man, that is something to kind of suck it up and say, man, that is really something. I don't think people realize how close you were last year. You were that far, that close from it.
Yeah, it kind of hurt. We thought about it a lot, and we just wanted to improve from that because I know we lost the previous season to them. So.
The crazy thing is, I mean, we could bring them in right now because they're right there again. I saw them the other day. They're like about, gosh, they might be, who knows, about 20-something and 0. They're still unbeaten. Number ranked first in the state.
Yeah.
Chapel Hill right there again. Northern Guilford getting closer again, too.
Yes.
But here's another team. I'll throw them out there because we get a lot of talk about this team, too. What do you know about this Burlington Williams team? What's it going to take to beat Burlington? You may not even see them again because no conference tournament. But how tough is Burlington Williams?
They're pretty tough. They got a good guard. Their post players are kind of big. I mean, we could have beat them, but we just need to focus on playing the whole game and really hard, and just we kind of like shut down like the second half.
Do you think you get worn down?
I don't think that's it.
Because they used to talk about you guys last year, but it wasn't not the case. But you guys only carried about 9 players last year, only went about 9 deep.
Yeah.
I mean, you still went one game away from the state championship.
Yeah, we're a totally different team though, so we got to work a little bit harder.
And you probably get more people involved this year then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who comes in when you get tired? Because you got to get tired sometimes. You play like an assassin out there going crazy sometimes, playing so hard, getting all those rebounds.
It depends. It'll either be a freshman or a sophomore that comes to get me. It depends on the game.
I bet the coach tells you if she doesn't, you know it already before the games, stay out of foul trouble.
Yes.
You get in foul trouble, Nighthawks are in trouble, right?
Yeah, it's a big deal. So I try to just play good defense and move my feet.
Yeah, you going back to that Timco, the Timco term, you got a little foul trouble in one of those games, didn't you, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was the last game I fouled out.
Yep, that was the last game.
GS.
Yep, against Greensboro Day when they beat you guys in the consolation game.
Yeah.
Exactly. Once you sat down, it kind of opened things up for them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have faith in my teammates. They could have pulled it out, but I mean, I felt like the game should have went into overtime and should have been decided by
There was some
that.
crazy call. I remember still there was a call you were involved with. It might have been the last foul you got or something crazy happened up there. Kind of a questionable call. You probably haven't forgot any of those either.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. The refs I can't determine what they call. So.
Right. We can't change it now, but boy, it still kind of plays in your mind, plays in the head game a little bit there. You think about the Timco, you get that out of your head. You think about no conference, you can't win the conference championship tournament-wise this year, so that's out of your head. One thing you do now is focus on the next game, the sectionals, and try to win the state title.
Yeah. I wish we knew who we were playing so we can
prepare a little bit better for it.
So.
Yeah. That's tough, though, because we wouldn't know who you would play, I guess, even if they would have had the conference tournament, because they don't do that sectional seeding to Saturday. Yeah. So you're just practicing this week, trying to stay ready.
Yeah.
Staying ready. But no games. What are you doing? Here's a big question. Even Quaison, anybody here, what do you guys do on Friday night now? Friday night is the big game now. We couldn't do anything last Friday because we got snowed out. What are you doing Friday night this week?
We're practicing.
Okay, and then do you go try to find a game at somewhere, watch a game, or just take a night off?
No, I think they went to the Guilford Eastern Elements game today. So.
Gotcha. That's the last one as far as your conference goes. I bet those coaches, I wonder what those coaches, I bet some of those coaches are going to be sneaking in somewhere watching somebody. They got some kind of game plan going.
They probably do.
Probably won't do them any good to go watch the Metro tournament because they don't face a 4A team. But if they have any idea a team they may be playing, I bet they make that trip there somewhere to might watch somebody play. Now, what are you going to be playing? What are you going to be doing next year? Don't even ask you about basketball. What do you be doing next year? Senior year this year, next year?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided where I'm going to college or if I'm going to play in college. But I am thinking about it.
You got to. I mean, I'm not the guidance counselor. I'm not working for Northern Guilford, but man, you got to be getting things together pretty soon because this is your senior year. The thing about being a senior now, if I'm a senior in high school, man, I can see it down the road. This thing's half over. I'm in the second semester, and this time is moving quick. Time is moving on pretty fast.
Yeah, it is.
And you're just going to kind of get the basketball done and worry about the other part later on.
Yeah, I am.
Do you run any track?
No, but I plan on to play softball this year.
Doing softball.
Yeah.
Could help them out a little bit. Did you play last year?
No, this will be my first year back since middle school.
You need to get in there then. Help that softball team out. The softball coach, Grinage or something like that. Yeah, I knew I had a name in the back of my head because he used to send us a lot of stats last year. I think he'll be glad to see you. What position do you play?
I could play first base and like outfield.
So you made your mind up when this basketball's done, onto the softball field you will go.
Yes, I miss it.
Hadn't played since middle school.
Yeah, that was my first love.
Man, first love was softball. She's coming clear tonight, coming clean, I guess you'd say. Aliyah Grinage, her first love was softball before basketball. She wants to finish strong.
Yeah.
But you've tasted the basketball. You tasted that taste almost to the state title game. You've been there and seen what it's like.
Yeah.
Now you want to get there. And you guys could do it. I think you probably do it this year.
Yeah, I want to.
Your best basketball may be ahead of you, but you got to play the best you've ever played to get there, I'm sure.
Everybody has to show up and just come ready to play and fight.
You look back at all this past couple of years at Northern Guilford playing basketball and just attending Northern and getting all this done. Has it been worth it all?
Yeah, it has been. I have great coaches, had great teammates, and they all just motivated me.
If you could write out, these questions, I didn't use the questions on paper yet, I'm going to forget about those. But if you had to write out your last will and testament, if you're leaving out of Northern Guilford, who would you leave your position on the basketball court to if you could kind of give somebody the good Aliyah Grinage touch, the good Aliyah Grinage blessing on your team, your teammate? Who would you leave that position to for next year and for the future?
I'll leave it to probably KB, Caitlin Brock. She's a sophomore. Yeah, she's a big man, so I'll probably leave it to her. Or Casey.
Casey Johnson.
Casey plays like the 3 and 4, so.
What year is Casey?
She's a junior.
She's got some time left in for sure. The one thing Coach Furlow does, if she would have been here, we would have talked about it. One thing Coach Furlow did, the best move she may have ever made was when she made that move when Samantha Kofer, if I was picking out a basketball team, I'm just picking my team, I'm putting Kofer in the middle. She's a post player because she's tall. That's the way the coach used to coach. Coach Furlow made her a wing player like a guard. I mean, that kid couldn't ask for a better move than that because she went on to college at Elon University and, I mean, worked out perfect. Just a great move by the coach. If you enjoyed being in the post, so you kind of played that post, kind of played inside because they needed somebody to mix up, be aggressive, be tough in there. If you enjoyed your spot there.
Yes, I have. I would kind of like to play the 3 a little bit, but kind of the post is my thing, so I like getting the rebounds and stuff. And
once you get that rebounding job down, I mean, that's a pretty good thing. You know what your role can be.
Yeah.
And you've handled it pretty well. The people that know Aliyah Grinage before the past 2 years, they definitely know who you are now. They definitely know who you are. When the other girls graduated and moved on, you had to take over the team. And 18 wins coming off last year's team that nearly made it to the state championship game. That says a lot for Northern Guilford this year.
Yeah, it does.
But the bottom line is we will not be able to find you yet next year because we don't know where you're going to be at next year after you graduate. Still looking.
Yes, I am.
It could be the thing. You go out and play softball. You may end up on one of these softball teams in college somewhere.
I might. Depends on this year.
A lot of good things could happen. A lot of good things could happen. What's been the thing you've learned the most while playing for Coach Furlow? What have you learned the most about playing for Coach Furlow? Gentlemen, take care. Williams family, move guys in here. Shane's Ribshack. I think they're moving on. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you, Quayson. Good luck to you, my man. Good luck. You guys keep up the good work. What have you learned the most, though, from Coach Furlow about the game of basketball, maybe about the game of life? Because she seems like, and I'll use some references. These are my references. I don't get anybody else. This is how I kind of see things sometimes. You see Coach Furlow. You see Coach Jones over at Page. You see Coach Joyner at Northwest. Female coaches coaching the females. Sometimes they seem more like, just as much like moms as they do like coaches.
Yeah.
Kind of the mother figure. She keeps a watch over things. I mean, her first priority today was make sure you got here safe and make sure you showed up and got here. And that's one thing she made sure happened. But what have you learned from Coach Furlow as a coach and as a leader of your team the past couple of years?
To not give up and just to work hard at everything and to be thankful for what you got. I know it was one point that I almost like quit because I couldn't, like, it was kind of hard for me. So she kind of like, we had a lot of talks, and she just like kept my head straight and was like, you got this, you can be one of the best players to play in, like, at Northern. So she just helped me a lot.
What kind of demands, what kind of things does she demand of your team in practice and in the games? What kind of demands does she make?
Just to work hard, keep the intensity in practice, and no let-ups, just play like we were playing a game. We all like fighting to keep our spot on the team. People are fighting to get a starting spot, so she just wants us to work hard.
When you guys started back, maybe about your freshman year, did you kind of see it being like this, the way it turned out now? How did you kind of anticipate it being when you were with Northern Guilford on the girls' basketball team? Did it kind of turn out the way you kind of thought it would?
Yeah, it did. I knew it would be good. I had great players all my years in high school, so I mean, it turned out the way I
Who do you put the shout out to? Maybe somebody that's gone off this team from previous years, or players on the team now, but you could have not done it without these kids.
Sam Cofer.
You like little Sammy, right? She's a freshman, right?
Yes.
That's good. She's got the respect of the older players. That's all, because that means she should do good for the future. And I guess she earned your respect.
Yeah,
because sometimes the coach's daughter might say, hey, whatever, but hey, but she earned that respect from you guys.
Yeah, she's like a leader. She tells the older people to pick it up.
And you guys respond, right?
Yeah.
That's good leadership by a freshman. You gotta like that.
It is great.
And who else?
Would you shout out?
Yeah.
Amanda Cofer, Naya Moore, my best friend, Gabby Boyd, and Alexis Robinson.
I remember Alexis.
Yeah, she was there my sophomore year.
She was a guard, right?
Yeah, she was really good.
Huh, interesting. Well, a lot of these players moved on to college and other things. I want to first of all thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
And thank you also for clearing up that question about the BJ Grinage family. What about the Carolina Duke game tonight? How do you see this Carolina Duke game going? Do you like this men's game tonight? You gonna watch this game?
Yes, I'm going for Carolina. I know 3 players personally.
Can you tell us who those people are?
Joel James, Bryce Johnson, and Kennedy Meeks.
Wow, you know some pretty big people then.
My cousin goes to Carolina for softball, so.
Wow, that's not bad at all. She's on the softball team.
Yeah.
They've got some pretty good teams there too,
Yeah,
right?
they're really good.
That Joel, last name again?
James.
Joel James, big dude. He's a really big dude.
He's really big.
Kennedy Meeks is a pretty big dude
Yeah,
too.
he is.
Wow, so you got some pretty good contacts in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, I did.
Be pulling for those guys hard tonight then.
Yeah.
Why do you think they're going to win?
I just have faith in them. They play good teams in the past. They kind of had a slip up in the beginning of the.
Yeah, I told the guys earlier, it seemed like when P.J. Harrison left the team, the guys just could not adapt to him being gone. But when they finally got used to it and went about their way and did their business, team came together.
It's probably because they would practice with him and
got
they
used to that
wouldn't
fit.
have him in the game. So.
He was part of the fit. And I think he's done pretty well. He went with that team in Texas. He's averaging about 26 points a game.
Yeah.
I think we'll see him in the NBA next year.
I hope so.
I saw Sammy last year in that middle school all-star game, the 8th grade all-star game over at Smith. Little Sammy Joe Furlow, or JoJo Furlow, get that new nickname in there. But she played in that last year and did pretty well. And they got this coming up Saturday night. They got the middle school all-star game at Smith again.
We have some good players coming up to Northern.
Future looks good.
Yes, it looks really good. I'm excited.
Any of these people on the other Northern teams, either football players or basketball players that you're pretty good friends with, we should give a mention before we close out tonight? You're our last guest tonight. Don't leave anybody out.
I want TJ.
TJ Logan.
TJ Logan.
Throw it back out to TJ Logan. He's been. I think he's been here before. Yeah.
I give a shout out to Mook Reynolds.
Mook Reynolds. I heard Mook might be looking at Duke. Heard that one time.
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
TJ Ruff.
TJ Ruff. He's a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Austin Coltrane.
He's been here before. Yeah, Austin. That's one of my relatives there, Austin.
Oh yeah.
From many years ago.
Just shout out to every athlete at Northern. They're doing big things.
They've done some good things.
Yeah.
Done some very good things. And watch, you've led that basketball team this year.
Yes.
And you just got to do a little bit more. You got one more game to play.
No, we go straight into playoffs.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you got one more game to play that sectional game.
Yeah.
And you got to play it like we got one more game.
Yes.
Then we may have another if we win that one.
Yeah. Yeah,
Serious business.
Yes, it is.
Well, Aliyah, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Enjoyed your visit tonight at Shane's Ribshack. Aliyah Grinage, Northern Guilford Nighthawks. Our guests, we had Hannah Hauser. We had also tonight Quayshawn Williams that came in, Peyton Kavlicek, talked to Coach Stewart, and wish Coach Furlow could have been here. Maybe she'll be here in the future. Again, we do thank Aliyah for being here tonight at Shane's Ribshack. Basketball on Focus Court Report for a Thursday. We'll do it again next week. Thank you, Shane's. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for all the people that work here, the good job they do at Shane's. Excellent.